How's it going, everyone? Want to go over some major free DLC that is available on the PlayStation Store right now. We'll talk all about that. See a little bit of negativity on social media, maybe rightfully so, as there has been added quite a bit of microtransactions to one of the best games of 2023 alongside this free DLC. We'll talk all about that, and we've got some great PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game deals to go over, so we'll get to that in a little bit. But first of all, Resident Evil 4, the Mercenaries DLC, is live right now. It is, of course, a free piece of DLC content that you can jump into right now. It notes race against the clock and battle your way to the top of the leaderboards. First featured in the original Resident Evil 4, the Mercenaries is back. Are you ready to test your mettle in this thrilling breakneck fight for survival against an increasingly dangerous horde of enemies? Characters old and new can now be used in mayhem mode. Unique abilities that add new layers of strategic and tactical depth never before seen in the Mercenaries mode. Like the main story, again, this mode is reimagined and awaiting those who enjoy fast-paced action combat. So that is live right now. Again, there are new microtransactions that have been rolled out alongside the Mercenaries component. It's a bunch of weapon-exclusive upgrade tickets. You can buy them in various increments as well, ranging from $2.99 all the way up to $9.99. That's where a lot of the negativity is brewing from. You know, it is what it is. I see a lot of people being upset on social media, but you know, maybe they can expand the component as well at some point. We'll see how they ultimately do decide to handle the Mercenaries component as a whole in the future, or if this is just gonna be what it is. Nevertheless, Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of the year. Probably thus far, it is my favorite game of the year. Look, I love the Dead Space remake, loved Hogwarts Legacy, a couple other games that I enjoyed, you know, Atomic Heart, One Piece Odyssey, but Resident Evil 4 to me is just on another level. Maybe Hogwarts Legacy, I'll put it like close at number 2, but I still enjoyed Resident Evil 4 more. I get it that some people I even saw in my comment section were like, hey, there's a remake of a PS2 game. It's not the lengthiest game in the world, but it is a game that I find to be replayable, and if you do want to get like the Platinum Trophy or all the achievements, it's going to take you multiple playthroughs to get that, and it's just been incredibly well received. I believe it's sitting at a 93 on Metacritic. You know, by the fall of this year, I foresee the game's gonna get a significant discount. You know, it might be down to $35 or around that range, but man, this is one of those games that I feel like even though it's on the shorter side of things, sometimes that's kind of nice. I'm not saying every game needs to be, you know, this gargantuan open world game, but if you are, you know, picking and choosing what games you buy, I feel like Resident Evil 4 is one that you do buy at full price if you do enjoy survival horror games. I know some people just aren't into horror games, but man, I've had a fantastic time with the game, and you know, I think I'm gonna be putting it down soon after my second playthrough. But nevertheless, have had a fantastic time with the game, and from a visual standpoint, gameplay standpoint, and just how it does a remake. Like, this is a new standard for quality remakes, and it's just been tremendous to, you know, revisit a game that I am incredibly nostalgic with. Don't get that twisted. Like, this is a game that, you know, I grew up with way back in 05 on the PlayStation 2, but just to revisit it 18 years later, really bring it up to speed for a 2023 audience. And if you never played RE4, man, this is a good one to even get into Resident Evil with. Maybe play the Resident Evil 2 remake first, because that remake is exceptional, but yeah, Resident Evil 4 is just fantastic. Now you got the Mercenaries free DLC. Do bear in mind, we're gonna get more free DLC. The PSVR 2 component will be coming at some point as a free DLC upgrade, and given that Resident Evil has been pretty tremendous in VR, if you do have a VR2 headset, that might be something worthwhile to check out as well. Another reason to replay the game when that ultimately does drop. And if you really want to stick to VR, you know, maybe you can make the argument, hey, just wait until the VR upgrade comes out and then experience RE4, but that should be a remarkable experience as well. But nonetheless, Mercenaries DLC available free right now, alongside some microtransactions, if you do want to delve into that. But moving on from that, speaking of Resident Evil, do want to note that the Resident Evil Village Gold Edition is available 20% off at Amazon, $39.99, so this includes Village, a fantastic game. On top of that, a bunch of DLC content. The Winter's Expansion, a lot of additional content is available with the Resident Evil Village Gold Edition, so you definitely should check out Village at some point. Like, it's a fantastic game. Also does have a free VR2 upgrade, so if you do have a VR2 headset, you can take advantage of that. But Resident Evil Village was a really great game. Definitely do play Biohazard Resident Evil 7 first if you haven't played that, but Village was a very good Resident Evil title as well. Had a great time with that, and, you know, one of the better games of 2021 when it came out. Also, do want to note Resident Evil 2, if you do want to pick that up, $14.99 at GameStop right now. Another fantastic remake. I wouldn't say as good as the RE4 remake, but you know, you're talking 1A, 1B in this regard. Resident Evil 2 was a tremendous remake as well, and on top of that, the game does have an exceptional PlayStation 5 upgrade to it as well. So you can play it with improved quality on that platform. $15 for it is great. You can usually find RE2 digitally for like $9.99, so if you are fine with buying digital games, you know, that's not a bad price either. Other deal available at GameStop, Persona 5 Strikers, $7.98 for this is ridiculous. Persona 5, obviously, this is different than your traditional Persona 5 experience. This is a follow-up, so, you know, play Persona 5 first if you can. But, you know, as a Musou-style game, this is pretty darn good because it still retains the great aesthetics of Persona, and it ended up being a really, really enjoyable action title. And I'm not crazy about the Musou games. Like, I can enjoy them, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Dynasty Warriors Gundam back in the day, but P5 kind of has that lure, P5 Strikers at least, with the Persona aesthetics and the visual style and the flashy look of it, so I think from that standpoint, soundtrack as well, it was quite good. And $8 for it? Yeah, no-brainer there. And then I also want to give a shout to Like a Dragon Ishin, that is $39.99. If you're a fan of the RGG titles, you know, you're gonna enjoy this one as well. For a lot of people, this is one of their favorite games of the year as well, and if it is, more power to you. Definitely not a bad one to have high up on your list. And then lastly, I do want to give a shout to the Dead Space remake. That is $15 off over at Best Buy. Not the cheapest we've seen this for. We have seen it at $49.99, but I still think this is a pretty darn good deal and worthwhile to pick up at $55. And I really enjoyed Dead Space remake. Probably number 3 thus far for my favorite games of the year. I would put it comfortably behind the RE4 remake and Hogwarts Legacy, but those two games are both exceptionally great, and I would even put Dead Space in the exceptionally great category. Like, I thought they did a really, really good job with this remake, and hopefully Motive, hopefully EA, they continue to work on a more Dead Space content, whether that be a Dead Space 2 remake, whether that be a new Dead Space game, whatever the case may be. I think there's a lot of potential with Dead Space as a whole going forward, and there's a lot of potential in this IP, so hopefully it does see the recognition that I feel like it deserves. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, the Resident Evil Mercenaries, the Resident Evil 4, the Mercenaries DLC is available right now. Resident Evil Village Gold Edition, great deal on that. Definitely do check that out if you wanna, you know, you want more Resident Evil after playing the RE4 remake. Resident Evil 2 remake, if you haven't played that, that's obviously a great deal. Persona 5 Strikers, Like a Dragon Ishin, Dead Space remake, links to everything in the description box down below. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.